Today we're talking about the new album from Alice in Chains, Rainier Fog. Since 2006, Alice in Chains have been in a bit of a transitional phase into the second half of their career. Obviously, in 2002, legendary vocalist Layne Staley passed away from drug overdose. Since 2006, the band's been fronted by William DuVall, who I think is a fantastic vocalist. And I think that a lot of the comments online about him, you know, he's not Layne and everything, I think they're completely irrelevant when you listen to the guy sing, because he's a fantastic frontman. He fits really well in Alice in Chains. Now, their first studio album with him was called Black Gives Way to Blue, which dropped in 2009. This was probably one of my favourite Alice in Chains releases, actually. Really great record. It's got everything you want in an Alice in Chains record, everything I want personally. It's got the more sort of slow-paced, chuggy songs, such as All Secrets Known. It's got the more heavy songs, such as, A Looking in View. But it's got the more, and then it's got some of the ballady songs, you know, Black Gives Way to Blue, Your Decision, they're both great songs. And it's got some killer riffs like In Shut My Brain. So this album really set the bar high, in my opinion, for the following records, because it's such a good album. And then 2013 they released The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here. I don't have that on CD yet. Devil Put Dinosaurs Here, also a good record. It's not as good as Black Gives Way to Blue, I don't think, but it's got some cool songs on it. It's got Hollow, it's got Stone, Choke, Phantom Limb, the title track, you know, they're all good songs, and an album that was very strong in my opinion, other than maybe 2 or 3 tracks which are a bit filler, but yeah, it's a strong album. So coming off of 2 successful releases, Alice in Chains started to create this third album. Now, I was so excited for it. Every little update that got released, I was on it, and there was a lot of things sort of being said about it when they get in the studio, etc., and I was so excited to hear it. So a couple of months ago they released the first single from the album, The One You Know. Now I was thinking, this album is going to be dark, following the loss of Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington and everything. Obviously Chris Cornell, a big grunge influence around the same time as Alice in Chains, coming up with Soundgarden. And, The One You Know, you can start to hear this. Now I'll get into the tracks now, but it opens with The One You Know, the first single from the record. Now, upon first listen, I thought this song was, it was kind of dull, but upon more listens, I actually started to enjoy this track. Now, I think the guitar part's a bit repetitive after a while. I would have liked to have heard it sort of change into something else and something bigger, but it's alright, it does its job. It's pretty simple, it's pretty heavy for Alice in Chains, and I think it's a pretty strong opening to the record. Sorry, I'm just getting the track list up, and I think it's quite a cool track to open the album with. Not the best thing Alice in Chains have ever put out, but it does its job. It's got a cool chorus. Jerry Cantrell takes the lead on a lot of the vocals on this, but William's backup sound great on this track. And this is a decent enough opening to the album. Next is the title track, Rainier Fog. And this song's alright. Now the title, actually, while I'm on this song, I'll talk about the title. Obviously named after the mountain in Seattle. This album's got a lot more of a home feel to it, a home element. The third Alice in Chains album was recorded in Seattle, with the one with the self-titled album with the dog on the cover. And this is the third album with William, so they've done the same, went back to the same studio, I think, went back to Seattle and recorded it. I get the title, it's a pretty personal title, named after home. And this song, it's alright, it doesn't really change your life, but it's a decent second song on the album, fits it nicely where it is, it's got a decent enough riff, great vocal performance, and it's an alright song. Next on the album is one of my favourites, if not my favourite from the album, which is called Red Giant. This song has got a killer riff straight out the gate. William DuVall sounds absolutely fantastic. Now this is what I was hoping for on this album. Some great riffs, but quite dark still, quite grungy still. I'd say that Alice in Chains have developed from the whole grunge name, but real hard rock song. And Red Giant, one of my favourites from the album. It's got a cool chorus, fantastic vocals, and a very cool riff actually. And I listened to this song and I thought, this album could be really good. Next on the album is Fly. Now the next few songs, next 4 songs, Fly, Drone, Deaf Ears, Blind Eyes, and Maybe. This is where I start to switch off from the album. This middle section really isn't that strong in my opinion. Fly, it's an okay song, kind of drags on a little bit. Doesn't really take you anywhere, but Fly, it's an okay song. I heard that, and I was still looking forward to the rest of the album. Fly's an okay song, as I said. It's got some decent vocals on it. But it doesn't really do that much. Next is the song Drone. I was thinking, this could be the when I saw the length of it, this could be the acid bubble of the album. The 7 minute sort of slow but heavy, and then the more progressive song. And it didn't do that for me. Acid Bubble, it does. That song can do soft parts and heavy parts, and it sort of intertwines really well. Drone, in its nearly 7 minute duration, just doesn't take you anywhere. I just feel like it drags on far too long. It doesn't do anything in its duration very much, but it's an okay song. It's just, I started to zone out hearing this, but yeah, it's okay. Maybe it'll grow on me in more listens. The next song's the same, Deaf Ears, Blind Eyes. It doesn't really take you anywhere in its duration. It's just okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it doesn't stand out to me like songs like Looking and Viewed did. Songs like, even songs like Lesson Learned and things like that, trying to think of examples on Devil Put Dinosaurs here, like Phantom Limb, things like that. This middle section of the album just isn't sticking out to me at all. Nothing's really that memorable in my opinion. They're not bad songs by any means. They're just not, sticking with me like some of the previous songs off other albums. Next is the song where I realised that this album wasn't going to be overly special, in my personal opinion. The song's called Maybe. Now Maybe's quite a long song. Let me just check how long it actually is. Maybe's a song that I feel like dragged on far too long. It's 5.5 minutes, so it's not too. It's just feel like Maybe it's a very slow song, but at this point in the album, after songs like Deaf Ears, Blind Eyes, what was it, Drone and things like that, I feel like we needed a song to really pick you back up. A song like Phantom Limb or A Lust of My Kind, something a bit more fast paced, because these previous 3 tracks haven't really done anything. They've sort of plodded along and haven't really done too much in their duration. So I was thinking, maybe this song will pick it up a bit, really engage me again for the closing section of the album. But it doesn't. I think Maybe is the weakest song on this album. It's just not a bad song. If you listen to it by itself, it's alright, but when you listen to it in context of the album, where everything around it hasn't been that great, I feel like the song just sort of plods along a bit. Again, the vocals are good, the song's decent, the lyrics are good again, but I just feel like this song just sort of plods on a little bit, and I'm not a massive fan of it. So this section of the album, not a big fan. However, the next song, So Far Under, which is the second single, I do actually like this song quite a lot. It's got a cool riff, almost sort of, quite heavy rock. And this has got the classic Alice in Chains, like dual vocal, and it sounds really cool. Again, not the strongest song Alice in Chains have ever done, but certainly a good one. It's got a cool chorus with the line So Far Under. And this is just a cool song. It's got a real dirty sounding, it's a real dirty riff. Even though the production doesn't sound dirty, it's got great production, this album, but I feel like this song, it's got a real sort of heavy riff for Alice in Chains. Fantastic dual vocals harmonising in the chorus, and this song's not bad. In fact, this is one of the strongest songs so far on the album. Next is the song Never Fade, which as a single, I actually enjoyed this song quite a bit, but when you hear it in the album and you've sat through songs that are just sort of okay, this song doesn't stand out for me. When listening, this song, it does. I don't know how to say it. This song, as a single, I thought it was pretty good. But when you hear it with these other songs that aren't that great, it's just sort of you're kind of zoned out by this point, in my opinion. I kind of zoned out by this point. I heard this song, I went, yeah, it's alright. But if you talk about Never Fade by itself, it's got an alright riff at the start. It's kind of slow, but this is what I mean by the more dark side of the album. It's got the line, all my friends are leaving. and the chorus is great. I love the chorus of this song. The Never Fade, I Know You Think You're Someone I Forgot, and things like that. This song's really heartfelt, and this is the more what I was expected from the album. You know, So Far Under and Never Fade. But yeah, Never Fade is a good song, and it's not a particularly great song, but it does its job. William sounds really good. The harmonising sounds great. Jerry sounds good on this song, and I like this. I mean, it's got a very heartfelt lyric in the chorus. It's just, yeah, there's not much you can say about it. I mean, this is what I was like with this album. I didn't really have many words. I was just sort of repeating myself over and over again, because that's what I felt like the songs were doing. They weren't grabbing me. They were just sort of, yeah, that's alright. Yeah, that's alright. You know, it wasn't like when I was listening to Black Goes with Blue, I went, yeah, that was good. Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Oh, that was great. You know, when I was listening to this, I was like, yeah, alright, that's alright. But yeah, So Far Under and Never Fade, two of the strongest songs on the album for me personally. So far my favourites have been the one, you know, Red Giant, So Far Under and Never Fade, and the other songs I found a bit, you know, throwaway. So the album closes with the song All I Am, which is about 7 minutes in length, if I remember correctly. Now, I like slow closing songs to albums. I really like it. I think Black Is Way to Blue, great ending to the album. I think Choke on Devil Put Dinosaurs there, great ending to the album. Now, All I Am, I've heard a lot of positive things about. Maybe it'll take me a few listens to grow on, but this song, I found it, you know, pretty uninteresting. Now, I think, although this song is clearly heartfelt, I feel like after we've sat through nine other songs, so after you've sat through Rainier Fog, Fly, Drone, Deaf Ears, Blind Eyes, maybe, you know, I kind of zoned out myself. I was like, yeah, this album's okay. But if you listen to this song by itself, or if it was on an album that was a bit more strong, I think this song would be pretty good. But because you've already been listening to such mediocre songs, this song just plods along, and I found this song so dull at the end of the album, because, you know, even Never Fade, although it's a decent song, it's still kind of dull, and I just feel like All I Am really plods along again, like Maybe did, like Deaf Ears Blind Eyes did, and it doesn't take you anywhere. It just, you know, I was hoping, like, okay, if it starts, like, maybe it'll go into something big and beautiful, and even though it's clearly a heartfelt song, and it's not a bad song, it just plods along far too much, which I feel like a lot of this album does. I feel like a lot of this album, it's just, you know, it's not strong. It doesn't punch you in the face like an Alice in Chains album should at times. And yeah, I get it. It's meant to be more of a heartfelt record, and more of a personal record, and I'm totally cool with that. You know, I love Jar of Flies, and that's, you know, all the songs on that are slow. But I just feel like this album doesn't, you know, take you anywhere. I just feel like this album plods along. It doesn't do that much. But yeah, I'm not saying these songs are bad, because that would be wrong. These songs aren't bad. There's not a song on here that I listened to and was offended by. But I was listening to this album, and if you compare this album to Black Is Way to Blue, it's nothing. If you compare it to Devil Put Dinosaurs here, it's not that great. But if you listen to it on its own, it's okay. Now, I'm surprised when I was saying this, because a lot of people were really loving this album. That's cool. I mean, if you like the album, then that's great. I don't dislike the album, I just don't find it that entertaining, you know. Maybe it'll take me a few more listens. Let's talk about the pros and cons of the record. I feel like this has been a messy review, but I just sort of ran out of things to say when talking about songs that all sound the same to me. So, production. Now, there's pro and con to production. One, the production sounds absolutely fantastic. Two, when you get songs like The One You Know and Red Giant, you want the production just to sound a little bit more muddy, a little bit more dirty, on just for some of the riffs. But, you know, the production's fine. I think the production sounds really good on this record, just like it did on Devil and Black Is Way to Blue. But yeah, this album sounds great, sonically fantastic. And hell, I mean, I think there's 10 songs on this record. Let me just check. Yeah, 10 songs. Out of the 10 songs, there's 4 songs I enjoyed, like, quite a bit. Songs that I genuinely really liked and would like to listen to multiple times. There's probably 3, 2. So yeah, this album, I think it was just mostly throwaway songs, in my personal opinion. So yeah, let's wrap this up. It's been a bit of a messy review, but I just wanted to share my opinions on this. So, Rainier Fog, not a bad album. It's just a little bit dull. It doesn't grab me like other Alice in Chains albums have. I think this is one of the weakest things, if not the weakest thing Alice in Chains have ever put out. However, a lot of love to the guys. William DuVall's great, and it's great to see him still doing their thing because I absolutely love Alice in Chains. I'm going to give this album a 2.5 out of 5, just because I find it okay. I don't find it bad, I don't find it great, it's sort of in the middle, it's just mediocre. I won't be listening to it that often. But yeah, I mean, I'll give it another listen, see if any of the songs grow on me again, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, personally. But yeah, share your views. I want to know in the comments what you think of Rainier Fog. If you disagree or agree with my points, just be cool, man. That's all I can say. I'm happy to respond to any comments. So yeah, Rainier Fog, it's alright. That's my overall conclusion on it. So thank you for watching. If you want to check out my other reviews, I've got loads on this channel. I've done all sorts on here, so feel free to check that out. I'm trying to grow this channel, so please subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you soon with another one. So thank you for watching.